you?
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
I was gonna sit there and I thought I'll probably get slugged or
You can
something.
give me a massage.
Sneak attack.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recording in progress.
Roll call, Jesse. Here. Lisa Schmidt. Here. Tierney Peterson. Here. Kimberly Bishop. Here. Call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. The City of Grant abides by the Nebraska Open Meeting Act in conducting business. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meeting Act is in a binder in this meeting room on the south wall as required by the Nebraska Open Meeting Act. This is a change because of new state statutes and in the Open Meetings Act, so that's why it's not on the board anymore. And in the binder, if you do want to review it, please return it to the wall when it's finished. The mayor and the city council reserve the right to enter the closed session at any time during the meeting in accordance with the Nebraska Open Meeting Act, even though the session may not be indicated on the agenda. The mayor and the council take, it is our intention to take matters as presented on the agenda. We reserve the right to take up matters in a different order. Anyone wishing to speak during public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person, with a limit of 2 individuals speaking per topic position. Please come to the podium, clearly state your name and address for the record and the agenda topic you wish to speak. This meeting is being recorded by the City of Grant. Did all of you have a chance to review the agenda?
Yes. I'll move the second action on agenda for July 20th. Second.
Tierney moved and Andrea second to accept the agenda, the proposed agenda for July 28th, 2026. Any discussion? Kimberly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tierney?
Yes.
Andrea? Yes. Motion carried. Prior, review and action of prior meeting minutes from July 14th, 2026.
I move to accept the July 14th, 2026 minutes and waive the reading.
Second.
Andrea moved, Tierney seconded, that we accept the prior meeting minutes from July unanimous as well, motion carried. Communications, please, sir.
We have received our parts for the garbage truck, and tentatively right now, we're going to schedule it for the first week in August. The taking it with her, and they're hoping to have it done within a week, but it may run over a little bit. August 7th at 6 p.m. is cruise night. We will be doing food in correlation with that. We're gonna do walking tacos and some hot dogs left over from the ball fields. And then, Monday, August 10th at 5:15 is a cemetery board meeting. And then the next council meeting will be Tuesday, the 11th at 7.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Standing committee reports, Kimberly?
I didn't report because I wasn't here last time, but did you catch everybody up, I guess, on the last park and rec meeting?
It's on.
It's here. We're
Alright.
fine. Yes.
All right, thank you. Andrew?
None.
Tony?
None.
Sam? Any public comment today? Alrighty, move on to unfinished business. Justin, would you please read, this ordinance?
Ordinance number 26-07-01, an ordinance for the compensation of all officers and employees of the city of Grant for the fiscal year of October 1st, 2026 through September 30th of 2027, repealing all other conflicting ordinances and conflicting sections of ordinances and providing for the effective date.
Right, this is our second reading, so this will be on our next agenda. Any discussion by the council at this time? Okay. Moving on to new business. Action and discussion on the request by property owner Shane Banks located at 705 Lincoln Avenue, a conditional use permit to construct a covered patio, and I believe this has already been through the proper, procedures.
Yes, we had a planning commission meeting on the 20th. Banks's contractor has been in touch with Billy. They did not want to remove the whole roof section of it. Billy and the contractor talked about setting it back 10 foot from the sidewalk to where it would be within reason. The reason why he's doing a conditional use is because it is a non-conforming lot, so you have to have a conditional use to do anything. This was part of what we did for the board of adjustments back in January, I believe. And we denied the carport, we wanted to move it back so it can be still somewhat usable and, basically covered.
Didn't even look really good, is it?
And the planning commission did approve the plans and moved it forward.
I think it looked really good and really proper.
Yes, I was at that planning commission meeting and probably could have added there, but it was a unanimous vote to move that forward to us for review. And I agree, it's a good way to make the best of the tough situation and, obviously has been an improvement to the property, so I like the idea that we can keep that and make it usable.
And also won't be as expensive as it, the header would.
Right, yeah, for sure.
So, I think it's a good compromise, so to speak.
So do we just accept their recommendation, or do we pass it ourselves?
You will have to vote, so.
So I make a motion to accept the conditional use permit to construct a covered patio for Shane Banks at 705 Lincoln Avenue.
Andrew moved, and Kimberly second. Any discussion?
I wasn't here for all the discussion, but I did read the packet. I was moving forward.
Any other discussion? discussion on motion to update 835 Sherman.
So I'm actually with West Central Nebraska Development District tonight to present the 2026 uses program. Very short slideshow. Okay, so this year we reviewed 61 properties. I sent out 21 courtesy letters, 20 properties cleared, and we still have that one remaining property that I'm recommending motion to abate tonight. That's the property, 835 Sherman Avenue. And the first photo is always for identification purposes only. He has an unlicensed inoperable vehicle still located on the property. And I have not heard from the property owner, he did pick up the declared letter.
Okay.
And that is it.
Not much we can do with that, I mean, because the letter is just a courtesy letter.
Well,
So,
they got a courtesy letter and then a declared
and
letter.
then the declared letter, and then
Declared sent certified.
just neither of them came back.
Yeah, the property owner picked up the declared.
Okay. Not much more we can do.
He did remove one vehicle, but the other one is, doesn't look like it's running.
Okay.
And the letter that went listed out both vehicles, or multiple vehicles.
Yeah, and it listed a couple other additional items like swords and scrap wood and stuff. I did not see that this time, it's just the one vehicle remaining.
I will make a motion to approve, abatement of property at 835 Sherman Avenue.
Kimberly moved and Terry second that we move forward with the abatement of 835 Sherman Avenue. Any discussion? Sam, how do you vote?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Kimberly?
Yes.
Tierney? Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in and presenting. Action and discussion request to be placed on the agenda for ball field basketball project. Hi, Jana.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for the record.
I'm Janet Turner. Everybody hear me? Sorry, I feel like my back's to you. Good. So, good evening, Mayor and City Council. Thank you for allowing me time to speak tonight regarding the proposed bathroom at the ball field project. There have been ongoing discussions regarding the condition and long-term needs of the restroom facilities at the ball field complex. In the last 2 years, the project continued to evolve through conversations with community members, the Park and Rec, county representatives, and potential funding partners. The current restroom facility, as we know, is outdated, and no longer adequately serves the ball field complex. The complex now serves the 3 ball fields, the playground area, the concession stand, but more importantly, it hosts many programs, including the youth soccer program, the spring, softball, baseball, t-ball in the summer months, and then youth flag football in the fall, and increased public attendance throughout the year with the new playground. In addition, the current facility is not ADA accessible and lacks proper hand washing accommodations. The proposed project focuses specifically on addressing immediate needs in a practical and financially responsible way. You can see in your handouts, and I do have extras for anybody that wants them, Brianna has them. The project includes an ADA accessible men and women's restroom, exterior water fountain access, mechanical room access to the rear storage area, and expanded storage space for park and rec equipment, and an overhead field access garage doors for easy access. The proposed location would replace the existing storage shed and better serve the overall recreational facility in a centralized location between all the ball fields and the playground and concession stand. One of the biggest developments since last year when I spoke is outside funding opportunities that have now become available. Private funding of $25,000 is currently being secured through the Perkins County Community Foundation specifically towards this project, with additional funds anticipated in the future. The county has also indicated their intent to update the bleach fields associated with the project and is planned to be budgeted for next year. The goal of pursuing outside funding and partnership is to significantly reduce the financial burden on the city and the taxpayers while still improving the public recreational facility. I also want to be very clear that this proposal that you have in front of you is intentionally focused on the immediate need rather than attempting to solve all the future projects all at once. I know in the Park and Rec, when I met with them, I understand that there are future interests in items such as a new concession stand or additional amenities, and those may absolutely be worthwhile discussions. However, this proposal is intentionally structured as a phase 1 project so that we can realistically address the most pressing infrastructure needs now while still allowing flexibility for future expansion if the city and the community choose to pursue that later. The Park and Rec Committee has reviewed this project that's in front of you and recommended moving the proposal forward to you as the city council for consideration. Tonight, I'm asking you, the city council, to consider supporting continued project planning discussions, collaboration with the city and the county, and evaluation of the proposed phase 1 restroom and storage facility project. Any questions?
We've been aware about the issues with the bathrooms for a long time.
Right.
We voted for everything that we
Yep.
can do out there. I knew we were gonna bring in some other things at one point, like some extra storage stuff. Do you feel that 4 bathrooms is gonna be, that's four toilets? I mean, 2 a urinal and 3 toilets is gonna solve the problem?
Well, right now you have 3 porta potties, and it served this year. The 2 bathrooms, or the 2 current bathrooms were closed for the season,
Okay,
and I think that works.
okay. We've had the engineer look at the leach field and the, sewer line. We haven't looked at that. Can we still do a leach field with
So-
that hole out there?
I talked to Tom, and with the leach field being out there, I don't know what you guys are doing with the pit for sure. He thought if they are doing a pit, a leach field would not be good, because it could get saturated with the water from the pit, so he suggested either a septic tank, or if we have to run sewer, we're going to have to put in a lift station to lift it to 3rd Street. Cause that would be the closest sewer line to where the ball fields need to go.
But I don't wanna get stuck on the leach field, because that is also with the county as well, and they have offered to pitch that money forward for the leach field.
We're not stuck on that.
Right.
And we have to work, it's county property, we
Right.
have local agreements, so
Right.
it's multiple things here.
Yes,
You know,
I understand that.
And, you know, we wanna make sure that, I mean, I'm glad you looked at having different funding for it.
Right.
Because that's those
Yes,
things we kinda
and I
need.
know that was the concern last year when I brought this forward, was the funding. And if we have this funded, at least a good portion of it.
Who'd you get this quote from, this 59,000?
So all these quotes, so I was able to get the building structure concrete foundation, that was from Adams Lumber, and that was current as of this year. The electrical, I got 2 bids, from the local electricians, for this year. The plumbing, that was last year, I wasn't able to get numbers from Charlie quite yet. And then the interior finishes, that was based on, the design on the back of here, so.
So is this quote just building the structure, or is it actually like attaching it to like the leach field or sewer?
This is just building the structure, because it was my understanding that the county was gonna do the leach field portion of it.
Derek, what is your recommendation for this overall project? Before we get too deep into discussion, I wanna hear.
So talking with Tom, I mean, we have the issue of running water to it, new water to it also, cause the bathrooms are currently fed off the sprinkler system. Talking to Tom, we would have to run a new 2-inch to a 1.5-inch line to it, which would be pretty costly just to figure out where we need to attach it and run from. There is a 4-inch line that runs through the kind of on the east side of the fairgrounds that we could possibly attach into, but I know at one point it was talked about abandoning that line, from the age of it. And then just looking at our budget, operational costs in the future, I mean, putting a water line into this, we're gonna be paying another $118 a month. And the bathrooms get used for a month and a half out of the year.
I would actually interrupt interrupt you, cause they get used for 9 months. I mean, it starts with soccer in
They don't
May,
though,
clear
cause we do
through.
not, the water
fall.
does not get turned on until at least the end of April when we start watering. That's as soon as the water turns on. Same with the park. I mean, the most is we may open the bathrooms a month earlier, but we don't usually keep them open all year round.
Right, but still it
Due
goes
to
through
the
October
cold.
when there's football.
It's not connected to this project, it's still a scissor sheet.
But it is because of water, and is this building gonna be heated, is it gonna be insulated? I mean, we're looking at a lot of other factors, cause with us, we usually try to do the porta potties from the beginning of May till the end of July. In case we have tournaments, things like that, I know they're gonna get picked up within the next week or two. As far as the bathrooms being out there attached to the sprinklers, we keep them open till the end of baseball season most of the time. If we were to do something like this, you may possibly be able to open them longer, but it would be no different than the park. We don't open it, we try to open it Easter weekend, but then we shut it back up, cause it's still cold. If it's freezing, we close them up until it's warm enough to where it isn't freezing, cause you're still gonna run into the same issue of pipes freezing and things
Right.
like that.
In July?
Not in July, but I mean, you could keep them open a little bit longer, but
I mean, at
realistically,
least
the
5 months
use
if
of
you
them-
start in May and go through till, what, October?
So
This
Ken,
depends on the freeze.
our budget, we also have, so we have, because, we would also have insurance, increased insurance. Plus the lines, we have to pay for the water to come in and the sewer lines, we have to pay for that, and the maintenance of those, the maintenance of the building. And I don't know if I mentioned insurance.
Yes.
Do we have it in our park and rec budget to increase the budget?
Not at this time, no.
So you have a $60,000 capital outlay and only 16,000 of that has been spent. So
It's
where's the 43,000?
It's the yearly, it's the yearly.
Well, I get that, but I mean, we do have some money that could cover that water, the initial water line. Right.
The $60,000 is coming out of cash reserves, and once cash reserves are gone, there would no longer be any funding.
Okay, and then you have the $10,000, which was supposed to get on the bathrooms last year, back in August, that never got used, right?
Projected to be used
Right.
towards the bathrooms.
Which this would be bathrooms, right? I mean, I'm just trying to keep an open mind, cause we know, we all understand that this is needed. The current bathrooms, we're not even using, they were closed for season. You know, I just want us to be open-minded to look at a possible solution for this.
And
And I wanna work together with all of you. I
Right.
don't want it to be a me versus you, or you versus the county. I just want us all to work together.
And I, as a taxpayer, but also as a mayor, we have to be responsible to make sure we're not creating a budget that outpaces
Right.
the revenue. In my household, I don't go buying a car or a house that I can't cover with my income.
Right.
It's the same thing with the city. We cannot create a budget, even though we want to, even though we can agree, like, I would love a walking path, I would love X, Y, and
Right.
Z. But we cannot create a budget that outpaces our revenue.
I get that.
And right now, just this year, we're making almost a $50,000 cut to the library
Yes.
because of increased cost, decreased aid from the city, and the state limits us on how much we can increase our revenue every year. There's a cap. So, right now, the Park and Rec's budget, there is no wiggle room. Matter of fact, we're looking at cuts to the Park and Rec budget. And we have many costs every year in the Park and Rec because we have a new pool. Just this next year, we're gonna have to spend more than $60,000 to paint the pool. And every year we have maintenance on the slide.
Right.
That is expensive. We cannot keep adding projects or facilities that outpaces our budget, even if we want to. Because one thing, are we going to burden the taxpayers so much that they're gonna be upset with us, that they don't want more taxes? Or with projects that they don't want? Because this is a project that is on county property. Me as a taxpayer, I wanna make sure the city property is properly taken care of. So that would include the pool, all of the pool, the basketball court, which needs updated, the historical sites, which need to be updated. Then, if there is still money left over, then to do the extra projects. But right now, in reviewing the project and forecasting out for the next 5 to 10 years, we are gonna make cuts. There is no extra.
So you, forgive me, but you said you didn't wanna do additional projects on county land,
Right.
but didn't we just put in a new fence at the ball field that is technically not covered by the current interlocal agreement?
And that is a one-time payment. That fence is gonna last for 10, 20 years. We don't have to do any maintenance on it. We don't have to carry more insurance on it. Matter of fact, it probably will decrease our insurance because it increases safety.
I would debate that, cause I was at actually a juniors game, and within the first inning, 5 foul balls went right up and over that, and 2 of them landed right in the, playground area, so I don't know that the safety was
Well,
really.
I'm just
done.
saying, it's not something we don't have, that fence is there. Next 10, 20 years, we don't need to put any more money into it.
But bathrooms, we have money that will go to.
It
I
won't
think-
go into
I
operating
think
costs.
we're talking about two different things here, so like, it seems to me like the funds can be raised for the cost of the construction, and we could have a bathroom, it
Right.
could be there.
Right.
What we have not figured out as a city, and I don't know if any conversations have happened with the county or not, outside of just the leach field, but somebody has to clean them. We have to pay for water, we have to pay for electricity, I'm assuming.
And insurance.
And insurance, and those are the annual costs.
Right.
That we just don't know what they are yet, but if they're even $1, it's something we have to consider, right? Because. it
But
would
weren't
be
you
part
already
of the
paying that on the old
ongoing-
ones? The water, the electricity? Were we already
I mean-
paying for that? I mean, granted, yes, these are bigger, so it's gonna be more, but weren't you already paying that expense?
Well, not this year at all,
Well,
because
yeah,
they don't have
close.
them. So we could absolutely take the cost of the porta potties at this point and figure out what did we get
Yes.
on that, what is the cost of difference?
Right.
I don't know what that number is going to be, so I'm not ready to say absolutely no, but I do wanna make sure that the full cost of the project is reviewed and taken into consideration, outside of just the construction. This is amazing, what you've done with the construction and figuring out how to get it built. I think it's a huge step forward. I think we just need to do some homework on, does the leach field work? If
No,
it does,
it does
great.
not.
If it doesn't, what is plan B? How much is the cost of plan B?
Right. And then the other concern, and this is my biggest concern, is our staff is strained to the limits. They cannot get all the work done in a 40-hour work week. And so here we're gonna add another thing to do on their list, the maintenance, repairs, because there will be repairs, there will be vandalism, just like at the park. Those will happen. And so our limited staff that we have, and we've all been there in a job where you're working 40 hours a week, and you're asked to do that one more thing, and that one more thing, and that one more thing. And there's a point, we're gonna start losing our staff because we're overextending them. And this is one of the one more things, we do not have the staff to maintain it and to clean it. And to prevent or to clean up after the vandalism. Which leads me to my very last concern, and it's probably the smallest concern, is the one thing that we have found in both the park, the bathroom, and this bathroom was open, is that people, I don't know who and I don't know why, will take their fecal matter and wipe it all over the wall. They will not urinate in the toilet or even beside it. They will urinate wherever they please. So our staff has to take a power washer in there and clean it. And because it's a brick building, and because it's a cement floor, they're able to do those type of cleaning jobs. If we do this build, and like I told you, this is the very least of my concerns. My biggest concern is that we're may not be responsible by overextending ourselves. My concern is that the staff will not be able to take a power washer in there and clean up the fecal matter. And it does happen. I mean, I've seen it. And so, although this option is affordable and it looks really nice and would be great to have out there, we also have to consider that it's gonna get vandalized and it needs to be easily cleaned and easily repaired.
So, I think it's good, it's phase one, it's a starting point, starting point of conversation, I think it's a good idea. I think that we kind of laid out some of our concerns, that I'm not saying no, like, I understand the need for it to be there. I think I'm glad that you found like a way to fund it for the foundation, and there's ways to fund that. That's what we need to work together if we're gonna get something. I don't know, I know a 2-inch water line was recommended, I don't know if it has to be 2-inch water line, maybe there's some areas we can do that. Maybe we can do corrugated walls, and so we can spray paint them so we don't have to do concrete, you know. We have to look at our long-term budget, right now we're just on the sprinkler system, so it can't be on all the time. So there's certain times we can turn it on, turn it off. So, but I recognize the need for it to be there, especially since, like, this is one of our tourism things for our town. A lot of people come here, and so this is important, okay? And so, but when it's important and there's only certain things that we can do, and those are things that you can do, we have to work together to make this happen. And as far as the interlocal agreement, we are in compliance with that. We can do things with the interlocal agreement and build a fence. What the issue is we are now less than 25 years on our interlocal agreement. That's the way I understand it, but maybe you understand it differently. And so that means we can no longer qualify for certain grants. Now, what I would like to do is maybe extend that so that we can qualify for grants and get these things built. And there's some other opportunities to do that.
But you're just, like, we already have the money to build it. I mean, at
Yeah,
least a good chunk of it.
You're right, we have a starting point.
And the current interlocal agreement says that you guys agreed to keep the property in good repair and suitable for the public. The bathrooms currently are not in good repair or suitable for the public.
Well, porta potties are suitable things, actually, they are compliant, I mean, the fair had them too, I know they're not fun, but they are suitable ways of removing human waste. I mean, it is approved by the FDA, you know, so I understand that's not the favorite thing to do it, but we also have to look, we can build the building, but can we maintain it? That's our issue, like, yeah, we can build a building right now, but can we pay for the water, can we get the stuff out there, can the septic tank tolerate, you know, because if we're gonna have 600 people out there, we're still gonna have to have porta potties with this.
Well, I don't know, you have 600.
Well, we had it actually calculated when they had the biggest tournament or whatever, maybe a year ago, there was 559 people or 50, huh? So almost
So
600.
that's once every 4 years.
Right, but our leach field has to accommodate
Right.
that. And so
I understand.
So we have to
that, yes.
account,
But the leach field, again, is,
that's why we're willing to work with the
Right.
county.
Yes.
Yeah, we're willing to work with the county, but we have to, so that's a piece, we have to make sure if we're gonna build this, we have a leach field that can accommodate that level of
Yes.
people,
Right.
right? And if we don't have a leach field that can accommodate that level of people, then we're gonna have to bring up porta potties for that too. You don't necessarily eliminate that,
right, I get.
you know?
But I just,
even the
I don't wanna
fairness-
get stuck on the leach field. I get that the water piece, yes, we may figure out a solution, I just don't. The county is taking on the responsibility of that leach field.
Yeah, we're not stuck on the leach field. We're not stuck, if the leach field can't work with the current situation out there, then we have to do something different than the leach field, and that's either run the water, and maybe it doesn't have to be a 2-inch line, but then we have to run sewer, and that does have to be a certain size. And a lift station. And so there's additional costs to get a bathroom out there, and I'm not opposed to having a bathroom out there, but we just need to make sure that these are things we need to fund this for. And we have constraints in our budget, we put $60,000 and build it, and then we couldn't maintain it, but that's not fair either.
Right, and my thing is if we're cutting the library $50,000 because our budget is short, even if the Park and Rec's new budget with this building, let's say we're blessed, we get it built, and we have everything we need there, and we have the sewer line taken care of, the water line taken care of, and we're blessed with the bill.
Fully funded.
Even with it fully funded, we still have to be responsible and forecast to see if we can still make the monthly payments, the insurance. If we can, do we have staffing? If we can't get staffing, that's a huge problem. Are we going to put our staff at risk by adding one more job for them to do?
But wouldn't so besides this year, right, where the bathrooms were not
lot smaller. This is like 4 times.
Well, the bathroom piece of it should be about double. There's an extra storage unit that they shouldn't have to worry about.
I'm just saying, these are one of the things that we have, a concern, that we have to make sure that we're being responsible, that we forecast all of this out before that we jump into this and say, yeah, go fundraise. Because if we're not able to meet the monthly, if we can't pay that monthly bill, just like a mortgage on a house, if you can't make that monthly payment, you should not be buying that house. If we cannot forecast the budget out for the length of using of this, and we cannot afford the monthly bill, we should not do this project.
So can I ask what the $183,000 that was transferred into the Park and Rec fund is allotted for? That is to operate the.
That's what we're trying to reduce, is taking so much from our electric every year, and that's why we're looking at it, because that 140,
$183,000 was transferred in.
it was not. It was 140,000 from the electric and then 43,000 from the taxes.
Well, so what's this transfer, $183,000?
Yes, that's, but 140,000 of it is from our electric and 43,000 of it is
For
from
both the
taxes.
pool and ball field?
It is for
I'm just trying to
basic
understand it.
it's just for basic operations of our park and rec department. The 43,000 is going to the library for now. We're
Okay.
taking the 43,000 out. We used to only do 100,000 out of the electrical, and that's what we're trying to get back to, because we are overreaching in our electrical, taking money that we really shouldn't be taking out of there to fund other departments with what we've been giving the franchise fees to other departments, to hopefully get the franchise fees back to those and be even 100,000 on the electric.
Thanks. So as of right now, what do we need to do as a next step? Do we need to get together with the county?
Well,
Do we need
first, we need to figure out the budget. We need to figure out like the insurance, the cost, the human cost, the staffing. Because if we have to hire, because we're at that breaking point, just like my job, when they're at that breaking point, people start quitting.
Yes, I get that. But the people would still, they're already currently taking care of that facility.
This would be more though. You're adding, it doesn't matter if it's 10 hours a month more, that's still 10 hours that our staff doesn't have.
And I believe Monica Poppy was the one that was taking care of the bathrooms, correct?
She cleans them, but she
Yes.
doesn't.
Right, but she would be taking that burden off of your staff by cleaning those
That's
bathrooms.
still
if this is-
wages we
right.
have to
Pay
pay.
her.
Well, I'm
We
just
pay her.
understanding.
Right, but we still, we also have the maintenance of it, and the water, and, you know, it's not just cleaning it. Whenever there's vandalism, our guys try to fix it first. Like one year, someone, I think they tore a sink off the wall. I mean, ridiculous stuff.
I get that, but I don't know that we need the what ifs. You
Yes,
know,
you-
I get, there could be all sorts of.
Well, that's why the
things
insurance,
that
that's the insurance will cover
Right.
that, and that's why we have to have the insurance. As far as
Yes.
like the staffing thing, we can maybe look at, is it something we probably can't add on to our full-time staff, but we need to add temporary staff?
Right,
Do we need to
or
ask
just
for,
those summer months.
or we're just those months, do we need, and then that's an expense, or do we ask, hey, can we have volunteers, people that really care about the ball program, can you guys volunteer?
Yes,
And then it's, you know, cause this is a county and city thing.
Yes.
People in the city use it, people in the county use it. So there are solutions, but there's problems, but there are also solutions. So that's what we're trying to lay out everything that we have to address. And one of those things is the staffing issue.
Yep.
And the staffing issue can be fixed temporarily, maybe if that's in the budget, and maybe it's gonna require some volunteers.
volunteers,
Maybe it needs some
absolutely.
help. Maybe we're gonna need some buy-in, not just from the city and the county, we're gonna need some buy-in from the people that wanna use the ball
Yes.
field.
Right, like, could the county, in addition to paying for helping put in, it won't be a leach field, that won't work, Tom said it wouldn't work, but the county is gonna put in some money for, let's say, the sewage. Could they also, say they're gonna help with the monthly expensive, with the insurance, you know, with the water bill, you know, would they do halves? I mean, it's hard to justify that we're gonna increase the park and rec budget, but we're cutting the library budget. When we know we're gonna be tight for the next 5 to 10 years because of the economy with forecasting, and Jesse and the accountants are very good at that forecasting, they know what they're doing.
So how much do the porta potties that you're renting, how much do those cost? Do you know off the top of your head?
$720.
Huh?
$720.
For how, for just a
4
month
months.
or more, 4 months? So that money could offset some of the
Right.
cleaning
And
and
that's-
if we didn't
right.
do the volunteers, right? Or I mean, if we
Sure.
actually had to pay a temporary person, they could get that
Sure, and I think what
$720.
Lisa's saying is like, we can share this
Yes.
expense with the county and even with volunteers, but any expense we share with the county has to go in their budget and it has to work on their side too.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, do we need to have a collaborative meeting with the county? Is that our next step? I mean, we do have a county representative that had asked to be here tonight.
Appreciate
You
it.
can say something, Andrea?
Yeah, can I ask you a question real
Yeah.
quick? Who is your guys' engineer that you use for projects and stuff in the county?
Depends on the project, and I tried to look it up today, actually, because we did, the
Well,
work
I was
that's,
just thinking maybe,
Tom we use sometimes, yes, but
Okay.
not for all of our projects. He does a lot of the road stuff, where we do surveys and studies.
since, I was just thinking, since my thought to start with is maybe whoever your engineer is
Yep.
meets with our engineer so that they, cause if the leach field doesn't work, then why spend your money to do
Right.
that? You know what I mean? The county spend the money. If this works or what, maybe between the two engineers, they would be able to say what is going to work best, and then we would have an idea of additional expenses beyond this. That's just my thought.
I've tracked your
In the
logic.
beginning thought.
The only
You know,
problem we
that's-
would need is some kind of decision on like where the building's gonna be, what size the building's gonna be,
Yes.
so you have to have some of those things before you can kinda work through the others. I think, Lisa, I think the big problem's gonna be on sharing expenses within the interlocal agreement would be that we're not getting any revenue from that, so that's gonna be a can of worms that we would have to open that up as well, and I think it's a can of worms, so not, so in the sense of sharing expenses that are currently being used by the city, or paid by the city within the interlocal agreement area, my inclination, my gut action is probably not gonna change. But I don't even know, Tanya might be able to speak, I think we're close to having the addendum done on the interlocal, so that, to your point earlier, that should be all back in place and renewed and good for another 2 decades or whatever it is, so. But yeah, I like your idea, I'm happy
It's
to,
just a thought. I mean, maybe we can, Derek can talk to one of you guys, or you find out who like you use for that. And then I agree, we have to have an idea and a plan, and then we can then go from there as to what's gonna work best for lines, bathrooms, septic, before anybody starts anything with like a leach field or putting new piping in or anything.
and I'm happy to help keep that rolling and get that communication. I know we just used the engineer for the work that's gone down there on drainage. It was not Tom, I think I mentioned that earlier, but
Nope, that's fine.
I don't remember who it was.
I just thought maybe the engineers could
Yes,
talk
that's a
and
good
maybe
start.
form a plan, so we have an idea of whether, cause again, I don't want you to spend money doing something and then turn around and be like, well, that ain't gonna work, and that was a waste of money, so, before we,
I-
And before we meet with the county, I think Derek and Jesse needs to forecast what it would cost to open. Saying everything is paid for, we got all the fundraising done, we have everything done, forecasting the cost, the monthly cost to the city, to see if we can realistically add that to the park and rec budget.
Can we also have a comparison of what we were spending?
Well, of course, that
Yeah,
would be.
so that we have
that would be
a side by
great.
side of,
Right.
and with the bathrooms that were fully functional at the time, not obviously including last year, because that's not gonna help much.
Right, and also, we would probably need to put in there, all the extra help, because we would need our public works guys, they're at the point where they cannot keep up with the to-do list. It doesn't sound like much, maintaining one more building, but even if it's 5 to 10 hours a month, or, in the summer, or whatever it is, it's still too much.
Right.
And putting that strain on the staff,
And I get that, and I don't want that, but I think we had a good point, I think that brought up the volunteers, because there are a lot of families that spend, I mean, I was down there 6 days a week. I'd be happy to go clean a bathroom. I mean, I was already down there coaching 2 teams. We have a lot of families that are invested in that, but, and not just during the summer months. Like, all the activities that we have down there. And I know that that playground is used by a lot of those kids on the west side of town, so that they don't have to cross the highway. They use that park a lot of the year.
Right, right. So my suggestion is to have the forecast first before, you know, what we need for funding, to see if we can realistically increase that budget.
Could we have them do that piece and the engineers talk at the same time, so we're not delayed?
And do you
Like,
want,
have it run concurrently
do
so
you
that we
want
can.
the engineers to run with a program of exactly like this?
I
And
mean-
then the engineers can take exactly this and tell us exactly what we need to do, and then if it's like, well, we need to shrink it a little bit in
Yep.
size, and then everything's gonna work, or
Yeah.
this is gonna be perfectly fine with this, or we can actually increase it to this because we have to do this.
Right.
I mean,
And I mean, my projected location was where the current storage shed is, or even to the east of the concession stand, because the Park and Rec brought up possibly a new concession stand wanting to be built in the future. You could add on to the backside of that, where that storage shed is, and put a new concession stand later down the road as a phase 2. So I would like to keep it somewhat close to that concession stand for that purpose down the road, so that we're not having to build a whole new, whatever. I could just add on to that facility. But if we could take that to the engineers, have the 2 engineers talk, he gets his, you know, forecasted budget with the budget of 2 years ago when the bathrooms were functional, and we still have the porta potties, because they were both, I don't want that money accounted for, because that could be used to pay monitor
Right.
whoever cleans it, yeah, offset that cost. If we could get that, and then meet again in, you know, 2 months or whatever, I don't know how long it'll take, but have a time frame that we can then regroup. And then if we need to, then after that, have a meeting with the county and the city, because this is a, you know, very integrated, location. We can all get on the same page.
Well, and people in this town, they'll donate to things they care about.
Oh, 100%.
We don't get a pool like that if people don't donate to things they care about. We don't get you don't get Western Sky.
100%.
So,
And
but,
same with volunteering.
right, so, but that is going to be something that I would suggest strongly that you make it a way for the people to donate to this.
Yes.
Cause that will help things report.
But they would donate to the building construction of it, which,
Sure.
you know, I mean, we possibly have 90% of it already funded, and yes, if we can get the other 10% with donations. But as far as donating for future maintenance, I don't know that they can do that.
They might be able to, we can get you what we're trying to present to you here is we're not coming into this from a position of, this can't happen. What we're trying to present, especially with Andrea's ideas and ideas thrown at you, is like, how do we make this happen? These are our issues and our concerns, and if we wanna, I think that's how we need to approach this. With you and everybody else in the counties, how do we make this happen? If we come
Right.
it from that direction, then at the end of this, we'll either agree, we can make this happen, or we can't.
Well, and I think that's why I'm presenting this, is that we are all on the
Yeah,
same
that's
page.
what I
So
want.
if we get the 2 engineers to work together, he does his piece, and then we have a collaborative meeting like we used to have with everybody 2 years ago, where we were making good progress with our collaborative meeting. Everybody has a seat at the table. I really think that this is something that we can get done, and I am part of a group of people in the community that are willing to donate to this project, and help any way to fundraise. I have a group of about 10 people.
With the pool of a 503C, do people do a tax write-off to that?
Yes.
Is there do you guys have a ball program, you have a 503C, is there a tax?
Well, no, because we're at the beginning stages, I don't even know if this is a project. I mean, we're running everything through the Nebraska Community Foundation and
Okay, I mean, something
yes,
I
I
would.
mean, Nebraska Community Foundation, the Perkins County Community Foundation is on board with this.
Even a computer betterment thing
They're
would
a
be,
501c, that's what we use for the
Yes.
pool.
yeah,
And that's where the money is going through them
okay,
and earmarked for this project specifically.
okay.
Tana, Jesse, what else did you need to say?
I just wanted to say that we've gone before without, for over a year without a janitor. We have current open positions, as we know, we were saying, so yes. And we have asked volunteers, and sometimes they step up, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I have 50
I'm sure with the community group that we have organized, we can get volunteers to help.
We also have to expect that sometimes that won't work.
Yes, absolutely. But I also don't wanna limit it to saying, no, let's keep the possibility open that we have very active community members and a lot of families that spend a lot of time down at those ball fields and give a lot of care about those ball fields.
But we don't wanna be like Imperial and have most of the staff up and late because we don't listen to the staff.
Well, I do know that Sutherland and their park and rec is all volunteer, except for one guy that runs it, and let me tell you, when it rained 2 inches, they busted their butts and got that field cleaned with volunteer help, so that we could play that night, so, and I know that we have community members that would do the same thing here.
So if we revisited this, the first meeting in October, that would give 2 months. Our budget would be done, the county's budget is done by, is yours done by October first also?
Yes.
Both budgets would be done, the engineers, that would give them 2 months to work and talk and give us exactly how much. Like, the leach field's gonna work, it's not gonna work, we
Right.
gotta put in this much of a line, we're gonna have to put in a septic tank. And then we would have this, and it's gonna be another 20 or another 100,000.
Yep.
Just depending upon where everything's
Right,
at with
because we
what.
don't know what we don't know at this point.
And then,
Right.
and then that would give us October first-ish time. I mean, I'm just asking if that's something that's feasible for, and I'm asking County and Derek and Jesse, if that's feasible, like in a couple of months, enough time to give the engineers, or if that's too much stress to add to everybody's plates.
We'll be doing our audit.
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't, I'm sorry, Melissa.
If I said if the budget's done though, then it's a whole other year before you can even address it.
No, because we would have to see where we're gonna work with it and how much we can give to it before October. I mean, that's definitely that would definitely be part of our
Discussions.
capital outlay and discussions without a doubt.
Okay, thank you.
And it's, the sad thing is the state's cut, and I'm not trying to
I know.
defend this, but we use franchise fees, and we have used franchise fees in this city for super long time, and it is awesome for those that pay electricity in the city of Grant. Nobody outside of the city of Grant pays any of those electric fees, and it has worked great. It's not, people just pay it, it's been what it is. But the state has told us now, and I just went to the last meeting in February, they're not gonna let us do that anymore. Their projection was what, 3 years, they thought they were gonna cut it at that last meeting? They're only talking, they haven't said they're gonna do it. So we just are halfway preparing ourselves, and you know what, if they don't do it, it would be awesome, because then we can continue to do this. But what happens when they tell us we can no longer have 225,000 a year right away? That's what's gonna happen.
I mean, that would cut the library completely and it would cut the park and rec.
So that's all I'm saying, I mean, we're not cutting it, but we're just guarding our back.
Right.
So we'll do that,
The League of Municipalities,
and the legislature's gonna make that change,
they say,
and we need to be talking to our senators.
yes, we do. We do, I agree with you 100%. No different than what's talking to our senators about this, no more than a 2% increase on everything
We have a
either.
cap.
Cause now we have a cap, where before, if we wanted to do stuff, we didn't have that cap, and now we have that cap. And if you go above that cap, then that's when you gotta send the postcards out, you gotta have meetings, you have to do all this, and then you have, Jesse send extra stuff
And they're
into the
looking
state.
at hard capping it completely.
Okay, so, yes, I agree with you 100%.
There's weekly Zoom calls with our senators during the legislative session that you all can be a part of.
I told Teresa I when we sat with her and our League of Municipalities.
Both
Yes,
Teresa
we
and
did.
Jacobson have a Thursday phone call that I'm on every week with a few other people,
Well, just,
Jason Bishop leads Teresa Ivaz, so.
okay,
if
off
you-
the subject, but I
Yes.
just,
So, I mean.
So
October 1st,
October 20th then is is that what you're saying?
no, the first.
Well, the first, but to meet again,
We're having a second,
Figure-
it'd be, our
The
meeting's the
first-
13th and the 27th of October.
We have an audit the 13th.
Yeah.
We have
Can
Oh,
we
the
do-
13th?
Can we do it the 22nd?
the 27th,
Yes, because that day.
That's 3 months.
Yeah.
Trying to do anything that week before.
or did you want it earlier?
No, because if we have audits, we don't wanna
Okay.
sit here.
We know that we have our big project this year and stuff too, so.
Tana, what concerns do you have?
Just with the engineers thing, I mean, obviously, it's great that we're raising money
better to get concerns
Right.
about them over.
So
Yep.
Derek, you would contact your engineer, and Mark, you're gonna take that back.
And then are you the best one to work through, Derek, as I
Yeah.
try and coordinate who's
Just-
coming who?
Tell me who your engineer is, and I can let Tom know.
It could well be
TNC
Tom. I mean,
engineering,
One
I
of the
mean,
guys said Brent was out
if it was
there,
Brent, then they work in the same office,
Right.
so.
I think that's who
Okay.
came out for what, the recent work.
Right,
Okay.
so.
If that's who it is, Tom just, he thought if there is gonna be a retention pond there, that the leach field could get saturated and then you would have issues, so he was recommending septic or the sewer, we'd have to put in a lift station, cause we can't drop it enough to get it to Third Street, cause that's not high enough for it there, so.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
So you two can coordinate that.
Well,
make
we'll
sure
keep that
they-
rolling, and then I'll say one last thing, I appreciate your
Yes,
efforts,
go.
and I think the county sees this as a worthy effort, especially with the big, brand new building being paid for, and the way it's being done. So we'll work positive and try and make it happen, we understand budget restraints, we understand prioritizing your money, we get all that too, so. But I think we're on board to try and be as helpful as we can through this process, and, because I think it reflects well on your community, especially the number of people that go through there in the spring through fall. So we'll give it a go, but, I'm happy to work with him.
Okay, so do I have a request to be put on the October 27th agenda,
Or
or
will it
show up?
We'll table it till I'll make a motion to table it till the October.
27th?
27th? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't say that part. October 27th meeting.
Second.
Andrea moved and Sam second that we table this discussion for the October 27th meeting. Any discussion?
Will I be able to talk at that meeting?
Yes, because
You're
you're
already on the agenda.
Okay,
Right, so,
perfect,
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that okay,
I
great.
did not hear Jesse over the fan. Did you say that there was a janitorial position open currently?
Not currently,
Not
but we've had one over a year open before and nobody will apply.
Okay, thank you.
And we have,
We have current open positions, office assistant position, garbage truck driver, public works position, we have.
and those get filled.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Right.
It's gonna get filled. Okay, we have a motion on the table, any more discussion? Kimberly, will you vote?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you for all your work and your group. Thank you. I know how, it's very kind of,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Action discussion on capital improvements for fiscal year 2026, 27, and beyond. Well, if we're gonna increase the park and rec budget, I want a splash pad and a walking trail.
Isn't that, I'll go with the walking trail. I think you can get grants for that.
Forgetting that's not indoors though, right?
Huh?
Oh, but I just want somewhere where there's no dogs trying to.
Covered walking trail?
To bite me.
Grant is a walking trail.
It is, but I have dogs that come after me and people that follow me in their vehicle, and it's not a pleasant walk.
No, it's not fun.
So, back to the real life, capital improvements. Derek, could you, please go through our capital outlay?
So the airport, we talked about this last meeting, but this is the 1 million is the total project cost of the airport. The $1,089,016 should be covered by the bill in the annual airport improvement. That is what we'll get from the FAA. They pay 95% of it. Our responsibility is $54,445. We have paid some towards this already, so when we get the budget worksheets finished up, you guys will see that number reflected of what we actually have left to pay.
Are we getting like 14,000 from the state for this?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
Is that, so that 54, does that include the state or?
The 4219, I think was what we were gonna have, would be out of our pocket then.
Okay.
so, and these numbers are from Jeff. I've been working with him on progressing with that, so. And we're looking at a spring start time for that
Okay.
project.
pretty darn good deal.
So, all projects after this
95%
will
of
be
cost of the-
unedited, so. And then moving on to cemetery, talking with Public Works guys, we wanna see if we can get some kind of new tractor out of the cemetery. The one that we have now is falling apart and it's not worth fixing. And I will take this to the cemetery, and have discussions on them, or discussions with them and see what they would like to do as their governing board. The CRA, we are working on the subdivision project and that is partially completed. That's what we have that money there for. Economic development, a possible loan to the CRA. I've been working with Midwest, we need to do some maintenance this upcoming year, and we're gonna do pole testing. We figured that is to test all 700 poles in town that we own, and then I'm waiting on a price from them for our substation breaker maintenance. They'll come through, check the breakers, replace what needs to be done, so. That is something that they are recommending we do, cause it has not been done for a few years. And then general, waiting on some estimates, the electrical upgrade for the building, when the EMC did their loss risk assessment, there is a fuse panel that basically 3 fuse panels that we need to put into one, and some wiring that we have to update in the building. It was something that the insurance really wants done, so. And then the library, the only thing I know about from them is the possible circulation desk. They were gonna give me an updated price when they found out a new price. The lottery, we're gonna use funds for that, for Chris Long's project, and that is underway. She's working on trying to get the sign, whatever she's doing with the sign, figured out, so we can get that moving forward. Park and Rec, we had funds donated to us for the bench planks. They are still working on restoring or painting the concrete bollards. Tennis and playground bench, that is something they may try to do when she is finished with the ones up by the man shuttle. And then the restrooms, we have $10,000 budgeted for that. That is work that we have not started yet.
And why will we not be able to,
The guys with sickness and just how much work we've had this year,
so they're a little overworked on projects, there's not enough time in the day to finish projects?
Yeah. And then we have the splash pad on there, but that is on hold. Dirt for the ball fields is probably something that may be needed over the next year or two. And then the pool is gonna need sandblasted and painted, so I have an estimate on there for that. The sewer, talking with Billy, we're doing pretty good on that right now. I think this year we'll just budget for a third of the use pickup in case we have one that is not. Then moving on to the streets, we have not.
Derek, before you move to the street, how often do we have to sandblast and paint the pool?
So what's going on is the pool, for some reason, it's like, it doesn't have enough texture in it, cause I got it last year, so that's why the paint isn't sticking very well.
Okay.
And I know they've had to repaint the lines, Billy and I touched it up this year before the pool opened, but we need to strip it, sandblast it, get a little more grit on the concrete, so the paint will actually stick and last longer.
In other words, the original board was too, zero board?
Yeah.
They just, it didn't have a.
So this, but this would cut down on the frequency with which we have
Yes,
to do this.
yes. I
Okay.
know stickers and things like that, that's gonna be something that's gonna need to be done every 2 to 3 years, just based on kind of the signs we have and things like that. But this would be hopefully last 5 or more years. I would guess it probably last like 15 before you actually got it sandblasted and
We'll interrupt you, Derek.
Okay.
We will not blame you for being slow, that's for sure.
Crack sealing, patching, we're still working on that. Curb and gutter improvements, we'll budget that in there. as needed. For the used pickup, I know we did take out arbor coating this year, we talked about it in the street project. So I did talk to Tom and he's been working on some estimates for me. I know one of the main concerns that Bill wants to get done for streets is finishing Third Street with curb and gutter and getting it relayed. To do from Sherman to Warren, which is just a block section, it is $175,000. That is for curb along the south side and then replacement of curb within a few spots on the north side. And then I put in here, Tom was working on the updated pricing for me to do all the way from Sherman to Mitchell, which will go to the end of that block currently. And he did get back to me today, it would be $465,000. That would be curbing gutter all along the south, new asphalt, and then, obviously if there's any chunks on the north side of curbing gutter, that would be replaced also. And then waste, new dumpsters, we are getting the engine replacement garbage truck, I did put that on there in case we wanted to explore that route of starting that process, cause it did take almost a year last time before we got the new garbage truck. So, and then water, we have found a test site, I did talk to Tom, he said it'd be about $40,000, cause we'll have to drill and water sample. And if it comes back good, that is where we can put a well. If it comes back negative, then we would have to find another location and start over. Meters and meter pits for the new subdivision, they use pickup because it would be split between the three departments. And then our water main project of going down to Logan would be $350,000 to $400,000. That one I recommend we do when we can do the street with it, because we'll be tearing up the street.
When are they recommending we have a new well by?
Tom said, I know probably in 3 to 4 years, but if we do it now, the one that we have, we can still leave it online until it actually fails, and then we can get rid of it. So we could run with 4 wells for another 3 to 5 years, or if it happens to fail, then we'd be left with 2 if we don't do it.
So we're not, because it's so close to failing,
Yeah.
that if we don't start the project, we could be down to 2 wells. Which I don't know
How long
that
can we
works.
sustain on 2 wells?
Yeah, see, and I don't want
That
to
doesn't sound good.
get to the point where we're
There's
down,
no
yeah.
water pressure at all then.
Right, and I like to flush my toilet, that's why I live in town, is cause I don't want a septic, I don't want to not flush my toilet.
Is there anything you guys would like to see or added to this list?
I don't know if it goes on this list, but one thing I would like to see is, the creative district thing, where they, you can do the creative districts, and I see a lot of blank walls now, brick walls. That allows for you to, I know it's like a 1 or 2 year, they were saying it's maybe a 1 year process, but I like what Oklahoma, they have a lot of murals and that kind of stuff, but it allows you to have extra grants, so it not only improves the look of your town, but, it allows for grant money to use for your town.
Right,
And then if you're successful, then you can continue to do new things.
I think they started doing the ones maybe that they talked to you about then, because I think I just knew the whole process when we were talking about it. And now they have mini grants that's more that you can just go to building control or something like that, so that you don't have to get.
And that might be it,
The whole process.
cause then it was a stair-step process, you get this one done, and there's another one you can do. And just a lot of the mayors I talked to when I was in the league were just saying how, they've used this and been in the program for, 5, 6 years now, like next year, they're doing a fountain, or they're doing a mural, or they're doing something else, and so.
right.
It's it just snowballs, and just, I think it's a good way to move things forward.
Yep, I like it too, and that is another reason why I think we need another office person full-time, which I would like to see on the budget. Because Jesse puts in so much overtime, and two, then something like this, the person could be doing.
Overseeing, yeah.
Right, and then we can also have backup for payroll or any of those other, things, like if Jesse got sick or she has COVID, and instead of her coming in and working to do payroll, or missing something important because she has to do payroll, then we would have backup. So that's something I would like to see worked on the budget is.
You want a full-time person, is what
Yeah.
you're saying? Okay.
Because we have not been able to hire a part-time person, we have not had any applicants for a part-time person, even though the pay is good.
I handed out 2 applications at the park. They didn't come in and sign them up.
Yep.
That's fine.
So, I mean, if we're gonna be running numbers, so to help that staffing problem, I think this would be something we need to add to the list of, perhaps. Okay, next.
I'm done. That was my part of it.
You sure?
Have a lot, but-
Anybody else?
So back to the cemetery, the kiosk replacement is like a must, right? Because
Yes.
the kiosk that is out there that
So the hardware,
is,
basically what's happened is the computer and the hardware in the computer at the cemetery will not.
talk to each other anymore.
No, it's basically, so Windows 11 came out, Windows 10 has lost support, that computer will only run Windows 10, and they cannot update it to run Windows 11 because of the hardware inside the computer. So I talked with Wendy Perry, because what they do is, they actually do not basically include the screen in the computer as a whole unit anymore, they separate it so that it would be cheaper down the road if, when Windows 12 comes out, if the hardware in the computer can't run Windows 12, you can't, you just get a new computer basically instead of the screen and the computer. So that would be for a new screen and computer to run the Wendy Perry system that we have on the kiosk. Because with it being in Windows 10, it's having a lot of problems with freezing, and they can no longer go in and update the software, because their software is not migrated over to Windows 11.
Did you say the 2500 was both the computer and the screen?
Yes.
Do we need a new screen?
Well, the thing is that what they originally did is the computer and the screen are all mounted as one.
So after this?
After
we
this,
would
the
need
screen
that.
would be separated, and the
Okay.
computer would be separate from that. It would no longer be one unit.
I know from saying that the cemetery board meetings are very much wanting that to be one of the major projects for them, because they want that to run and work out there so people can find
Yeah.
their family members or,
Yeah.
so. And they fundraised really hard, you know, how many years ago, 5, 6 years ago, to get that. And then, of course, you know, they won't talk.
It won't talk. And then plus we did have a staffing problem, we didn't have, Jesse didn't have enough time in the day to keep the cemetery, computer updated with information it needed. And so that's been an ongoing problem with the cemetery, hasn't it?
We had the pause in there when they were doing everything, so it backed up. Plus, I was not completed with transitioning it all to being digitized, so.
Right, and then Ed quit, and I mean, there's just been so many staffing problems that we weren't able to keep up on the cemetery end.
Do we need to switch to an Apple? I'm being serious. I mean, should we?
No,
should we-
Then we'll
I've
be
looked
losers
at-
forever.
I mean, the only other option I can think is we look at a different company, and just put like the QR code basically out there that, I mean, 85% of people anymore have a smartphone, you can
Mhm.
scan it, it'll take you to a website, I know you can get on the Wendy Perry website, so that would be another option if
Yeah, talk to maybe Tony over at Deere's Computer, maybe he has some ideas.
No, we know what it is, it's just that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we
you
just,
have to, it's,
options.
and the cemetery books are handwritten, it's not that it's being digitized, so.
Is what it is.
So again, it's stacking. I'm just saying,
I've been working on it since I started,
Sure.
so.
When did you start? 18 years ago?
I was gonna say, it's been a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably about 80 years ago.
That might not be a bad
alright.
idea.
Was there any other capital improvements, because anything we put on the list could also be for next year or 10 years down the road, so,
Do we have to say something about the current bathroom conversation on this? Or
that would be added to the park and rec budget line.
It's in
It's
there.
in there.
Yeah, it's in there, yep,
Restroom.
ball field, yep. Okay. There is no, action needed on that tonight, so we'll move on to action and discussion on the fiscal year 26-27 budget. And I think we have the libraries here, and then the rate schedules, oh, that would be after. Oh,
So
we
the
don't,
budget, it's just.
oh, it isn't in here.
discussion. We are working on it, I would say we're probably 75-80% complete, with getting you guys numbers forecasted and then presenting numbers for next year to look at, so we will have it at the next meeting for sure.
Okay. Okay, and then those new things that we added drops you back down to like 60% complete.
I haven't started that section yet, so it won't be too bad to add it in.
Okay, alright, okay, alright. So then we could just move on to the library budget.
Do we have to table that since it says action or no?
Library budget, Val, did you wanna present that for the library?
No.
No.
I'm. I was not prepared to. It's not generally my goal.
Hi, Maddie Kathleen. We're asking from the city $99,900. Total budget for revenue is $149,730. And as far as I know, I don't have to present line by line.
Alright. Any questions why we have the library here for them?
I guess I have one that I noticed, the memorial and donation expense is less than what is actually then coming in for the year. So, I didn't know if you guys were planning not to expend all of that, or if it was just an item that was overlooked.
That's a great question.
Can I answer that? Hi, sorry, I was kind of working on the budget, and maybe that was just my mistake, but we upped the memorial donations in hopes that we would get more donations, I guess. But then taking some of that for like books and the book lease and the supplies, so
So,
I can, I guess, change the line, like, so they match exactly, and then,
Otherwise you can't spend it. If it doesn't, if you have 10,000 coming in and you only have 7,357 going out, that's all you can spend.
oh, I see, okay, yeah, cause we had it, I believe, at 8,000 previously,
and you might have been using some of the, last year we had it, that you were spending some of the cash in that account too.
oh,
So,
okay,
there would have been a like $500 loss on that.
okay,
Cause last year we had it, and you guys were using the cash, so that was just, I wanted to make sure so we knew that cash was gonna be potentially taken, so.
no, I was just, I guess I didn't understand, like, I just was like, oh, look, we have extra money, I'll divvy it up on the line, so I can update that, the memorial expenses, but yeah, that was kind of our hope, was we could get more in donations and use those, and I guess as long as it's on that line, we can use it in whatever it falls under.
As long as you have that, you're gonna spend it.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's not earmarked for something specific, I mean, if it's specific, when they donated, maybe not to use it for that specific.
Right, yeah, yeah. Okay, no, I can fix that for sure. This was my first time making a budget, so thanks for your help, Derek. I kinda combined Derek's budget that was presented and then what we had previously from Robin, and tried to blend that, so. No, I will get that changed, cause we definitely wanna spend it if we have it.
And just one comment from the board is that, well, we're asking within what the city has given us, we have no guarantees on what our functioning is going to look like with a reduced budget.
Okay. Derek, did you have any, concerns?
Your FICA, employee match FICA is, it actually needs to be $5,772.31 when you figure it based off what your wages are proposed.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's times 0.0765. That's how you figure the FICA.
Okay, yeah, I can make those two changes, no big deal, cause we did include the wages to have a third part-time person, that's where we got that number from.
So what is the FICA need to be changed to?
$5,772.31.
Anything else? So, all we need to do is just approve the $99,900, correct?
And we will need though, I mean, there's still through our budgeting process that we kind of need, we'll be working with some public funds about, because we have to have forecasted out for June and all of that type of stuff too. So, or we'll be working.
Yeah, I can update these numbers and email it back to you. That was just me trying to make it even out, I didn't realize.
If you have other questions, just
Yeah.
reach out to me.
Yep, Derek, is the one, or Jesse to help you out there? Alright. Yep. Thank you, Maddie.
Yeah, just approve just the $99,000 budget.
Yep, 99,000.
I make a motion to approve the $99,900 on the library budget for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Second.
Sam moved, Kimberly second, that we provide $99,900 for the library budget for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Any discussion? Any, how do you vote?
Yes.
Terry? Yes. Kimberly?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you for presenting. Action and discussion on municipality rates and fees.
We just try to have this in front of you guys every year, and during budget season, to get thinking about it. As we go through the process, and we'll approve the different ones. As you know, that we already have the water rates on the schedule, and we were working on that diligently to bring to you, but, we will probably, yeah, we will probably have that on the next meeting, so.
So this is for review, basically.
Yeah, and then we'll kind of, we usually do it during budget and audit, we kind of take some time on the utilities and things and such, and other department rates that potentially get reduced. But
plan for the sewer rates since they're 13 years old?
At this time, we will just keep determining if we need to increase anything as we go through with the budget. So,
Okay.
the rate was set, I know before that, a couple times, but it was lower. When I started, it was very low. They had to jump it up a little bit when we did some bigger projects.
I'm sorry, I just said that period, I was talking about it.
So when I started, the rates were, or right before I started, the rates were low. They increased it for one of the projects, and then we've taken that little bit of increase since then. But we've got in the lift stations, both rehabbed and some of that, we keep doing our annual maintenance so that we hope that we don't have larger projects.
Okay. Very good. And what about the, when we put in the new well, which you know we're gonna have to do in the next, few years, are we gonna have to do a new rate study, or?
We'll continue to do our rate studies with, Nebraska Water. I know Randy was saying that he thought maybe we would be good even every few years doing it. It'll just be determining if the state requires us, but they have a little requirements, some of them required us to have some other studies, but we're also having kind of a study done between the auditors when they do some of their
Right.
evaluations and stuff too, so.
Right, that was, my concern. Any other concerns on the rates?
And we're still looking into, somebody to run electric rate study to have it.
Yeah, because we do need to have that done. Okay, so this will just continue to be reviewed through the budget season. Alright, action and discussion on setting a date and time and place for special meeting for the budget workshop.
So, we'll have to have the advertisement in the paper for our public hearing, before the August 25th meeting. And so, we were just gonna see, last year we actually met on the 20th. The county is supposed to have those to us by the 20th. I know last year then Tracy kind of was able to at least get it kind of plugged in quickly for us. And if we need any more additional time for just detail on the workshop. But this is just so we can determine if we're gonna need to go and postpone to them and, so we have to have that reported to the county by September.
So you were thinking during the last 2 weeks of August?
So it'd be the 20th and 21st probably.
I'll be gone both those days.
I won't be here either of those
Six, what's going?
August 20th or 21st. Is that what you said, right?
Yeah. And sometimes we'll have it potentially before that, but it's just, we don't know that we're gonna have our evaluations by then. So, otherwise, I mean, our other option would be that Monday, having a special meeting that is earlier in the day or something, so
The
that we get it to the
17th.
paper for sure.
Or the 24th?
The 24th.
24th would work better for me. I can do any of those. I can do 24th.
Were you that, are available 24th, Andrea? No.
Just plan it. I'll figure something out.
And you probably know like a meeting and stuff like that.
Oh, I can't.
I can't do that.
I can't do that.
I mean, cause we have to have it to the paper, that's the problem. So,
We can't do it before the 20th? Or can we do it
Well-
later in the next week?
we won't have our evaluations, that is what we were for that.
And then the 27th is too late.
Cause the ad will be in the 27th paper.
Why do we have to have a new, why does it have to be a new meeting?
Cut off of the paper,
Yeah.
then we need to have our decision made in case we have to, or for when we have to advertise the paper.
Goodness, we
twentieth
do
or
the
the
20th.
twenty-first is
Yep.
fine.
Yeah, I can do either.
I would prefer a Thursday over a Friday.
I might be able to make 21st work on at noon. I just don't think we have noon.
And that one we can do, the
In the
20th or
evening.
21st, we can do in the evening.
Evening.
Oh.
Those two we can do in the evening, the
Monday's the
twenty-fourth
only
has to be at noon.
Oh. Gotcha.
Do you have a preference for Thursday or Friday?
No, it won't matter.
Okay, I don't think it matters for me.
What time?
Oh, it's gonna be in
Seven?
the evening, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock? Thursday or Friday?
I'm gone both days.
Yeah, that's gonna just be us three.
Thursday,
Thursday should be fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I prefer Thursday.
Okay. Thursday the 20th.
At 7 p.m. Do we need to make a motion?
I will make a motion to set, the date, time, and place for the special meeting for the 26-27 budget workshop, for August the 20th at 7 p.m.
Second.
Kimberly moved, Sam second, that our budget workshop special meeting for this year's fiscal year is August 20th at 7 p.m. Any discussion? All right, Andrea, how did it go?
Yes.
Terry?
Can I say this? I'm gonna be there, not be there yet.
You,
Sam.
plans,
You can tell us when to meet.
Yeah.
Get together.
your plans might change.
Yeah.
Yes.
And?
Yes.
All right, motion carried. Action and discussion on resolution 260701, a resolution adopting a city-wide, okay, this is one more thing that our staff has to do. One more thing out of their time, which they don't have enough of. One more thing. Sorry, I am stuck on that. We're gonna lose all of our people if we keep piling up work on them and not have help. Derek, can you tell us why we're doing this?
This is another insurance issue. This was part of the loss risk assessment from EMC. They would like to see us have a resolution or basically a safety program on confined spaces, trip fall prevention, and PPE. So confined spaces would be like you guys getting in manholes, trip hazard lift, would be them working on ladders and being safe, and it is something that EMC recommended that we do. So these sheets, for all of them, are actually provided by EMC. It's a fill out yourself kind of thing, you put your own company name in it, but this is what they recommend. I have read over all these, I have sent them to Tana, Tana has reviewed them. It is something that I feel like we will have to start doing no matter what. I mean, insurance is one, coverage and make sure everybody understands, and just insurance business is what it is.
So how many accidents have we had since, like, the last 5 years? None?
I don't think the last five, probably.
I mean, as far as what's in this book. We won't talk about the garbage truck driver, we'll just talk about what's in this book.
Not like having to report, I don't think, probably, so.
So this is a recommendation, and if we adopt this and say, yes, we're doing it, essentially these sheets, the employees would have to go through some type of education.
Yeah, I would basically be like a safety coordinator and go through this with them, along with Bill as their direct supervisor. You know, we find some kind of training videos to watch, maybe once every couple months, do something, go over their knowledge and have them sign the paperwork that they know what
Like
risks
robbery
they're
training, we get
taking.
to do it every 6 months?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure at some point, the insurance will force you to have this. I mean,
Right.
that's part of what their risk assessment is for, is to go around, find, you know, issues like the airport. We had to buy new gas cans for out there and a flammable cabinet, cause they do not want any gas cans hanging out. And that's something that I feel, if the insurance recommends you do it, you probably better do it, cause if it catches on fire or something happens and you don't have this, then
And they won't
they're not
cover
gonna
you.
cover it.
Can this reduce our rates? Jeff saying,
No. That's
Don't
why
be
I
silly.
raise them next
Yeah.
time, we don't do it.
We have to do this to keep our
Right.
awesome high rates.
I know,
Golly.
it's just, it's so aggravating.
I mean, how is all this stuff not covered by other?
So really, we just
Safety.
need to do it, right? I mean, is that just?
It's either you
Sean?
can do it now or probably
Be
be
forced to do it
forced to do
later.
it in the future, so.
any issues or concerns?
No, it's pretty standard stuff, I mean. There's not, I mean, it's, yeah, it's standard.
Is there any training or certification you have to obtain to be the trainer?
Makes total sense.
We're just solving an
Just,
issue.
you have to have somebody be
In charge of.
in charge and somebody that takes the reports.
Probably make sure they sign the sheet that they
Yeah.
did it and
Yeah.
log it and.
And I would assume EMC has like
And
training
videos,
videos
yeah.
and stuff that you know,
Yeah.
they'll give you the resources.
Yes.
Slip fall prevention, that was your sister. I know, she should have that training.
Alright, I move to accept resolution 260701 to keep our insurance happy, a resolution adopting a citywide safety policy and authorizing the implementation of comprehensive safety program for all of the city employees.
I'll second. Andrea moved, Kimberly seconded that we, move forward with resolution 260701, adopting a citywide safety policy, implementing a comprehensive safety program for all city employees, and they are gonna be so thrilled to do this, that they're gonna ask you to make popcorn.
We should probably at least get popcorn.
I think so
I
too.
feel like it's gonna be a
And
little.
donuts,
Yeah.
yes.
Refreshments.
Oh my gosh, any discussion? Sam, how'd it go?
Yes.
Andrea?
Yes.
Kimberly?
Yes.
Tierney?
Yes.
Motion carried. Very good, thank you for doing that, for us, Derek. Action on bills and claims, did everyone have a chance to review them?
Yes.
Yes.
Move to take actions on bills and claims for $27,031.69.
Second?
Terry moves, Sam second, that we, accept the bills and claims in the amount of $27,031.69. Any discussion?
I think that's the smallest one.
I know.
I know, put it on the calendar.
I know, I looked at that as a great.
So the next one will
The
be,
mean bill is gonna be, mean.
is gonna be, that's all they need. Alright, Kimberly, how do you?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Motion carried. And, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Oh, we all have to
Yes.
sign.
Oh, yeah, we need to sign that paper.